Yo, what is up, guys? I wanted to come to you guys with a brand new video. This is on Sasha Banks thanking Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch last night at Clash of Champions. Now, my way of thinking about this, I don't think Sasha Banks should be thanking Vince McMahon. I don't think she should do this because Vince McMahon is the one that is burying Sasha Banks, and I don't agree with Sasha Banks saying thank you to Vince because Vince McMahon is burying Sasha Banks and Sasha Banks is completely buried. Yes, Sasha Banks is buried. You heard me right. Sasha Banks is completely buried at this point. You might as well go ahead and dig her grave and put her next to Bayley because Bayley is buried as well. So them two can, you might as well go ahead and dig their two graves because them two are completely buried. So I think Sasha Banks saying thank you to Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch after last night at Clash of Champions for what Becky Lynch did. I think Sasha Banks should not be thanking Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon is the one that is burying Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is buried after last night in my book. She is completely and utterly buried. Her character is buried. Her heel turn is wasted. They wasted her heel turn. Her heel turn is no longer interested. I'm no longer interested in Sasha Banks as a heel after her last night at Clash of Champions. I think Sasha Banks is completely buried. I think they buried her last night at Clash of Champions. I think Becky Lynch buried Sasha Banks. Yes, I do think I do think Becky Lynch is the John Cena of the female women's division. Becky Lynch is the female John Cena with the golden shovel, completely burying talent. She can't put nobody over. I'm sorry, Becky Lynch. I used to be a big fan, but last night you buried Sasha Banks completely. Last night was a burial, and I don't think Sasha Banks should be saying thank you to Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch because, after all, Vince McMahon is the one who is burying Sasha Banks. This doesn't make any sense to me. I don't agree with Sasha Banks thanking Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch last night after Clash of Champions for what she did. I think Sasha Banks needs to realize she is utterly buried now. She's buried. There's no coming back from this. Her heel turn is wasted. They completely buried. Sasha Banks got completely buried last night at Clash of Champions. There's no way of coming back from this. There's no way of salvaging this. There's no way Sasha Banks can make a comeback from this. So, do I think Sasha Banks ought to be thanking Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch? No, I do not. Because, like I said, I think Sasha Banks is completely and utterly buried. I think Sasha Banks is completely ruined at this point. There's no coming back from this. Becky Lynch buried her last night at Clash of Champions. Last night we saw the funeral of Sasha Banks. She is completely buried. Thank you to Becky Lynch and thank you to Vince McMahon. We seen the funeral of Sasha Banks last night at Clash of Champions. Now you guys may not agree with me on this. I don't really care if you do. But I think Becky Lynch is completely buried. I think her heel turn is wasted. I think they wasted her heel turn last night at Clash of Champions. I'm no longer excited about Sasha Banks anymore. I don't care. Because in my book, Sasha Banks should be the Raw Women's Champion. But she's not. And she got buried last night at Clash of Champions by the man Becky Lynch, the Irish Lass Kicker. Becky Lynch could not put Sasha Banks over. And Becky Lynch did bury Sasha last night at Clash of Champions. This was true down to the book. Sasha Banks is buried. Her character is wasted. Her heel turn is wasted. Everything that Sasha has done and that everything that she has worked for and come back for has been completely wasted. Her return was wasted last night at Clash of Champions. Sasha Banks is buried. There is no coming back from this. So I don't understand why Sasha Banks is thanking Vince McMahon when Vince McMahon is the one burying Sasha Banks. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. I think Sasha Banks needs to go back and rethink this whole idea of thanking Vince McMahon. I don't think she needs to be thanking Vince McMahon. I think Sasha Banks needs to realize that last night she was buried at Clash of Champions. And I think Sasha Banks is completely buried at this point. There's no coming back from the burial last night. So what you guys seen on the WWE Network last night at Clash of Champions? You guys seen the man Becky Lynch, the Irish last kicker, completely bury Sasha Banks at the point of no return. There's no return from this. There is no coming back from this. Sasha Banks will be not coming back from this burial. I don't give a damn what they do for her. I don't give a damn how much of the push they're going to give her. Sasha Banks is completely and utterly buried. They buried her last night at Clash of Champions. Now, what does Sasha do going from here? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on Monday Night Raw tonight what Sasha Banks does. If she comes out and reacts to Becky Lynch, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see until Monday Night Raw tonight. But this is being reported by this is being reported by Ringside News that Sasha Banks did thank Vince McMahon for fining Becky Lynch. For what reason, I don't know. I don't understand why Sasha Banks is sucking up to Vince McMahon when she shouldn't be sucking up to him at all. Because in return, Vince McMahon doesn't give a damn about Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is being buried by Vince McMahon. So why Sasha is thanking Vince McMahon for being buried, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't agree with it. Sasha needs to realize her heel turn is wasted. Her character is wasted. There's no coming back from the burial she got last night. Last night was the funeral of Sasha Banks. We knew this was going to happen. WWE does not care about Sasha Banks at all. WWE does not care about pushing Sasha Banks, even though Sasha Banks is one of the best heels in the business. I don't think WWE cares about pushing her at all. I don't think they care about Sasha Banks. So at this point, Sasha Banks is completely buried in my book. You saw the funeral of Sasha Banks last night at Clash of Champions. She got buried by Becky Lynch. And this is my rant on why Sasha Banks needs to go to AEW, because WWE does not care about, they don't care about Sasha Banks. Never did, never will. Sasha Banks has been completely wasted. They're not going to do anything with her going forward, I don't think. I don't really care if they do anymore, because last night after Clash of Champions, Sasha Banks is buried, confirmed. Her burial was last night at Clash of Champions. You may agree with me, you may disagree. I don't really care what you say about Sasha Banks at this point. You may say Sasha Banks isn't buried, but in my book, yes, she is. Sasha Banks got buried last night at Clash of Champions. We all knew this was going to happen. We all seen this coming for Sasha Banks when she returned to Monday Night Raw as a heel. We knew they were going to bury her right off the bat, and they have. They buried her momentum. They buried her career. They buried her heel turn. Sasha Banks is completely wasted. There's no coming back from this. There's no salvaging her career at this point. Sasha, go to AEW. WWE does not give a damn about you. They don't care about you. Go to AEW. Get away from this nonsense, because Sasha, you're buried. You're completely buried at this point. Why are you thanking Vince McMahon when Vince McMahon is the one burying you? Why are you thanking him for your burial? Why? I don't understand. I don't get it. I never will understand why Sasha Banks is giving in to Vince McMahon when Vince McMahon is the one burying Sasha Banks. There's no creative process for Sasha Banks. They have nothing for her creatively to do. She is being buried by the WWE creative team. Sasha Banks has been completely buried at this point. There's no coming back from this. There's no salvaging her career. There is nothing she can do at this point to get me back interested in her. I don't care what Sasha Banks does at this point. Sasha Banks got buried last night at Clash of Champions by the man Becky Lynch, the Irish Lass Kicker. Becky Lynch is the John Cena of the female women's division. So thank you to Becky Lynch for the burial. That was great of you to bury Sasha Banks and not put her over. I think Sasha Banks deserves to be Raw Women's Champion. Sasha Banks should be the Raw Women's Champion, but as we all know, WWE doesn't give a damn about Sasha Banks. They don't care about her. They don't have nothing creatively for her to do. The WWE creative team buried her last night. So thank you to Vince McMahon and the creative team for burying Sasha Banks last night at Clash of Champions. So I just wanted to say, Sasha, why are you thanking Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch when you're being completely buried? I don't understand. Your career is over. You need to go to AEW. Sasha, go to AEW. Get away from WWE. They are completely burying you. They don't care about you. So, Sasha, do us all a favor. Go to AEW. Stay away from Vince McMahon. Get away from this nonsense. Get away from the WWE creative nonsense, because the WWE creative team has buried you. Becky buried you last night at Clash of Champions. And I don't know why, Sasha, I don't know why you're thanking Vince McMahon for your burial last night at Clash of Champions. I mean, you got completely and utterly buried last night by Becky Lynch and WWE. There is no coming back from this. Sasha Banks is completely buried in my book. There is no coming back from this. Her heel turn is over. Her career is over right now. There's nothing left for Sasha Banks to do. Sasha Banks is completely buried. For you Sasha Banks fans that care about her, why do you care? When WWE doesn't care about her, why should you? Becky Lynch buried her last night at Clash of Champions. So, guys, leave it down in the comment section below. Leave your comments down in the comment section below with this video. Do you guys think that Becky Lynch buried Sasha Banks last night? I want to hear your comments down in the comment section below with this video about what you guys think about Sasha Banks getting buried last night at Clash of Champions. So do you guys think that Sasha Banks is buried? Leave your thoughts and comments and opinions about this down in the comment section below with this video. So do you guys think that Sasha Banks is buried? Leave your comments down in the comment section below of this video. I think Sasha Banks is completely buried. I don't care about Sasha Banks now. I don't care about her. I don't care about her heel turn. I don't care about her momentum now. Everything about Sasha Banks has been completely wiped away. Her heel turn has been crushed. Her burial was last night at Clash of Champions. So, Sasha, I don't know why you're thanking Vince McMahon for the burial last night. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't get your mindset. Why are you thanking the man that is burying you? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I disagree with you thanking him, because Vince McMahon is the one that buried you last night at Clash of Champions, and Becky Lynch buried you as well. So there you go. Sasha Banks' career is partially over. She got buried last night at Clash of Champions. So I just wanted to bring you guys this video on Sasha Banks thanking Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch last night at Clash of Champions. So guys, do you guys think that Sasha Banks is buried? Leave your thoughts and comments and opinions down in the comment section below with this video. So do you guys think that Sasha Banks is buried after last night? I think she is. I think Sasha Banks is completely buried. So I just wanted to bring you guys this video on Sasha Banks. If you guys like this video on Sasha Banks, thanking Vince McMahon for finding Becky Lynch last night at Clash of Champions, hit that thumbs up. If you guys like my channel, like, subscribe, comment. I'd appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for all your love and support. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a blessed Monday. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a great day. Much love to all you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, guys.